Hello, y'all. We are back and better than ever. I'm sorry, I'm like staring at the screen because this part of my lip is colored in such a way that it just seems like I actually just smeared the lipstick on my face. So, feeling a little insecure about that right now, but we're gonna let it go. Okay, so for today's video, we're gonna talk about why forcing things actually results in self-sabotage and how to tell if what you're doing isn't actually aligned with your true purpose, um, and how to tell if what you're doing actually does resonate with your spirit's mission. So just to jump right into it, I've had like such a crazy week. I'm sure like the rest of you. Also, happy Lunar New Year. Okay, I don't have enough information to really dive into that, but I know that's important. So shout out to the moon and yeah, and earth cycles, life cycles, right? Okay, so back to what I was saying. My week's been crazy. The first 2 days started off like hyper productive. I was getting it, I was in my bag, I was doing exactly what I needed to do, manifesting my heart's desires by being extremely intentional with what it is that I set out as tasks, writing them down, reviewing them, and programming it into my mind for a later date to be fulfilled. So I was getting it, feeling it. And then on Wednesday, things just like fell apart. It felt like everything that I tried to do was just wrong, right? I woke up in the morning and I just felt tired, right? I felt just like so fatigued in my body. And I told myself I need to get up at a certain time, but for some reason, my body was like, please just rest. And then I ended up missing a really important interview that I needed to have for another job. And then I had to go get drug screened, and it was a crazy situation where I just could not do what I needed to do, but was somehow able to do everything else. And that was extremely embarrassing and terrifying, and it put me in a position where the job that I had already gotten offered, it made me feel as though they might take back their offer and leave me in a vulnerable position financially. And when I was witnessing sort of like the commotion of all of this, wrongness, I had to take a second and pause and reflect and allow myself to just like rest and surrender to my day. And it wasn't until I did that that things started to naturally unfold how they were meant to, because I stopped forcing what I thought needed to happen and just lived in the present, acknowledged my feelings, and took it step by step. So, some ways to tell if what you're doing, if you're doing too much and it's not actually like a coherent action that the universe is going to respond to in a way that feels supportive. For one, it'll drain you. You'll just feel exhausted. You'll feel like no matter what your efforts are, for some reason, things aren't clicking, and physically, your body will just seem so drained. So that's one of the ways you can tell that, there's some resistance here in my efforts. Maybe I should pause and reflect on why that is and either try again at another time, because maybe it's not that what you're doing isn't correct, it's just the timing of it. Or maybe it's time to go back to the drawing board and scheme up a new plan that will actually be, more in sync with your ultimate goal. So, another thing that you'll notice for me, I pay attention to the timing, the time of clocks. So, if I'm seeing, the angel numbers 111, 202, 333, that's how I know that I'm going at a pace that is in sync with the universe around me, right? Because the earth has its own pulse, its own electromagnetic field, as we talked about, and that's kind of like a magnet for our actions. So I noticed that on the days where I was more productive, every single time I looked at the clock, it was 444. But on the days, I was trying to see if I was going to have like a moment like that now, and I didn't. But on the days where it wasn't, you know, I would look at the clock and it'd be just a random time. But until I surrendered, then things kind of reset, and then I would look at the clock and it was 4:04, 4:44, things like that. So, yeah, I'll give one last tip on how you know it's not, and then I'll start giving tips on how you can tell it is. So, Oh, another way that you can tell that this is not the case is it'll give you a lot of anxiety. You'll just feel in your heart like, man, something's gonna go wrong. Something is just not going to like be how I'm hoping it will be. And that anxiety will not be alleviated by the affirmations that you generally use when maybe that anxiety is actually just attached to like excitement for like the potential of what it is you're about to do. This anxiety will feel like a gut wrenching, oh no, like I know that this is wrong. And we have to start trusting that sense within us a lot more, because the more we trust it, the stronger we'll be able to sense it, and the more time we'll be able to save ourselves by not going down that path. So, how to tell if you're actually in alignment with your goals based upon the actions that you set forth. One, it should energize you. On the days where I felt productive, I was going until 12 o'clock, just really feeling excited about my life's purpose and loving what I was doing. It gave me this natural energy to keep pushing forward. And on the days where I didn't have that, like I said, on Wednesday, by 6, 7 o'clock, I was out for the count. And I should have allowed myself that moment to really rest and reset, but I still kind of forced myself to go on. And then I found myself in situations and interactions with others that weren't in my favor, because I wasn't respecting and honoring the fact that how I had set forth out into the day was not true to my own nature. Right? I was just doing things to satisfy others instead of acknowledging what I needed to be able to be present for others in a way that's actually conducive to all of our success. So, yeah, it should feel good. It should feel good to be alive. That doesn't mean that we don't go through struggles and adversities, but even as we're going through that process, there should be an underlying notion that we're going to get through this, and I have the proper support, education, and resources to overcome. So, it should feel good. Again, those magic angel numbers should link up when you look at the clock. The more you start paying attention and letting the universe know, hey, like this is the type of cue that I like, in order to communicate with spirit about what my path really should mean and look like. And then, yeah, it should energize you, and it should just feel fun. Like, it should make you feel good. It should make you feel loved. It should make you feel beautiful. Or it should like push you to seek out more insight and information. So those are just a couple of tips on how to align more with your purpose using cues from within and without. So I hope you guys like this, and please like, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. I will be here. I will be here. All right, this is just a quick one. So take care, y'all. Please leave any comments for ways that you recognize that you're following your life's paths in a way that is true to your own tune. And go ahead and link up with me about the ways that you know that this just ain't it. Yeah. So yeah, we don't want to force things, because we don't want our energy to dominate others, right? We want to be in collaboration with others, and we want our energy to be a guiding force, but we don't want it to be controlling or manipulative or predatory. So yeah. And the second that you allow yourself to relinquish that control so that you can be more honestly yourself with others, the more awesome you're going to feel, the more liberated you're going to feel. So please always surrender, unless it's time to put up a fight. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.